Seshadri's Talk Show. Seshadri's Talk Show. Hello, lovely listeners and fellow seekers of wisdom. Welcome back to another enlightening episode of Seshadri's Talk Show. I am your host, Sridhar Seshadri, and today we have a remarkable guest with us. Meet Raja Rajeshwari, fondly known as Raji. Raji is a zestful professional, weaving her magic across design thinking and the product industry. She's a dynamo advocate for women's leadership equity and well-being programs. With an impressive couple of decades of experience, Raji is on mission to empower growth through coaching, serving as a product strategist and design thinker. She's also a lean and network leader, championing leadership facilitation and coaching for women and girls. Today, we will explore Raji's fascinating journey, packaged with insights and inspiration across various domains, aligning perfectly with our podcast segments. So grab your favorite beverages, get comfortable, and let's dive into the heart of our conversation, starting with our first segment. Hi, Rajeshwari. So shall we get started?
Sure. Thank you so much, Sridhar, for having me on this show and for such a generous interaction. Let's get started.
Thanks for taking your time, Raji. We'll just get quickly started. I'll give you a quick brief of the 6 segments that we will dive in. So the first one is business and entrepreneurship. The second one is health and wellness. The third one is technology. The fourth one would be news and politics. Then the fifth one, a little bit of humor. Then the sixth one is a little bit of enigma, investigative stories, things like those. So I think we'll quickly jump into the first section. Here is the question for you, Raji. In business and entrepreneurship, can you share a standout entrepreneurial journey or the venture that showcases the power of design thinking and effective product strategy? And specifically, what lessons can aspiring entrepreneurs draw from this experience?
Absolutely, Sridhar. Let me start with one of the dearest one. So I joined the startup as Chief Product Officer, and there was a product that was being launched, and it was close to my heart because there were multiple scenarios that were being talked about, but I saw a gap in there where the connect was not there, or I would say there was a disconnect between how the end customer thinks and how the product launch journey was designed. So I pitched in as a champion of design thinking and started with my use case of how we should actually design the product, and it became a game changer in the field of AI-powered solutions. So with simple steps of design thinking, we started envisioning and began with a deep understanding of challenges faced by businesses in today's digital age. We observed the product development and customer engagement so that it becomes more personal and it is beyond the regular product development cycle. And we came up with prototyping and testing. The journey started with the prototype of our product and AI-powered product management platform. So instead of rushing to market, our team meticulously tested the concept with a select group of clients. We gathered individual insights and feedbacks, and followed by an iterative approach, we armed the user feedback. We adopted an iterative approach to define and refine continuously, and we became more committed to ensuring that the product is aligned perfectly with the needs of the customers. And finally, we went to storytelling and branding. So that helped with the help of design thinking. It just isn't about the product, it's about crafting a compelling narrative. So the company invested in telling the story and branding that conveyed how the product is not just a solution for our product development, but a means for brand to build an authentic connection with their customers. So with that, we went for global expansion. So the vision was not limited to a single market. We strategized for global expansion across multiple places across the globe to cater to different languages, culture, business, and landscapes. And it became seamless because we were going hand in hand with how we implement a design thinking oriented product. And the next thing was company building. So community around the product was vital. So we started creating forums, hosted webinars, and facilitated interactions among their clients, fostering a sense of collaboration and shared success. And last but not least was adapting to the market challenges. So like an entrepreneurial venture, our company faced challenges such as competition and an evolving industry regulations, but they tackled these by staying agile, I would say, and adapting their product in collaboration with industry stakeholders. So typically, I would say the lessons for the entrepreneurs would be like stay with empathy, begin by understanding the pain points and aspirations of your target audience. And design thinking is rooted in empathy for your customer. The next thing is prototype and test. So don't rush. Instead, build a prototype and gather feedback to inform improvements. The
Great.
next thing is and adapt. Continuously evolve your product based on your user feedback and market dynamics. So our company's success is a testament, I would say, in the power of adaptability. And tell a compelling story. Effective storytelling and branding can transfer your product into an experience just like our company did with our product. And think globally. If relevant to a product, plan for international expansion and adapt to diverse markets. I would really emphasize on this one. And build a community which fosters a sense of belonging among your users and clients. A strong community can lead to increased loyalty. And finally, last but not least, is embrace challenges. So, challenges are the opportunities for growth, address them with resilience and innovation, as our company did with their journey for the product. The transformation from a concept to a global leader as an AI product company was amazing. And that's where I could showcase that how design thinking and effective product strategy can propel an idea into a thriving business, inspiring aspiring entrepreneurs to embark on their own entrepreneurial endeavor with confidence and creativity.
Amazing. That's really very deep insight, Rajeshwari. I'm taking notes because there are a lot of critical takeaways that people might miss at times. But as a mentor, I really would want to share some of these for the aspiring entrepreneurs one more time. One, start with empathy. Startups have to be a little adaptable as well. They have to pick up whatever is in trend. They should actually adopt that. And then most importantly, they should look about how to thrive globally. These are very critical aspects to keep in mind while you're building some products and then you're applying design thinking. So we will move to the next question pretty quickly. So this is about health and wellness, Rajeshwari. So in well-being and growth specifically, say we are balancing health and wellness with a demanding career, and this is crucial these days. So how have you personally integrated well-being practices in your professional life? And based on that, while you explain us that, what advice would you like to share for the individuals striving for a harmonious work-life balance in the fast-paced product industry?
I think balancing health and demanding career can be a real challenge, but it is essential. So in my case, with the background in product technology and a focus on design thinking, I also go into NLP and a little bit of health and homeopathy. So I found a few strategies that have helped me maintain a harmonious work-life balance. So first and foremost is I prioritize setting clear boundaries. It's easy to get caught up in the fast-paced nature of the product industry. Still, I have learned to establish boundaries for work hours and personal time. I try to stick to them as much as possible, and this ensures that I have dedicated periods for self-care. Secondly, I'm a firm believer in the power of routines. So I have integrated wellness practice into my daily routine, such as mindful meditation and exercises. And trust me, these practices help me manage stress and stay focused even in demanding work situations. And additionally, as a practitioner for design thinking and NLP, I've applied these principles to my own life, and I have designed my work environment to be conducive to productivity and well-being. And I've used NLP techniques to overcome limiting beliefs and maintaining a positive mindset, which is invaluable in a high-pressure industry. And to answer your next part of the question, my advice for a harmonious work-life balance is first and foremost is prioritize self-care. Make sure you have a non-negotiable self-care routine. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. So find wellness practices that resonate with you and incorporate them in your daily life. And set boundaries. So define clear boundaries between work and personal life. Communicate these boundaries with your colleagues and superiors to ensure they are respected. And the third thing is practice mindfulness. So be mindful. Having mindful meditation practice can help you stay present and reduce stress. And I would say it's a valuable tool in a high pressure career. The fourth is embracing technology mindfully. As someone in technology industry, I leverage tech to our advantage, use apps and tools that promote well-being and time management so that the time is in your control. The fifth one would be continuous learning. So keep learning and growing, not just in your field, but also in personal development. The more you know, the better equipped you are to manage challenges. The next is like delegate and cooperate and collaborate. Don't hesitate to delegate tasks, collaborate with your colleagues, and don't have to do everything yourself. So the moment you think that you have to grab everything to your plate, things start getting to pile up. So let it go. Let delegation come into picture. And then regular check-ins. So periodically assess your work-life balance. If you're noticing it's getting squeaked, take proactive steps to rebalance. So a harmonious work-life balance is a continuous journey and it is not a destination. So we need to maintain that.
Amazing. So this is very informative, Rajeshwari. I'm going to start under 12 signals, one of the sections for knowledge series. I know you are practicing homeopathy as well as you are a level 3 coach for creating practitioners in NLP as well. So I would really want to call you and discuss that. We cannot really cover all of that in depth today. But for the listeners, I just want to like reiterate, there are going to be sections like these that we will cover in depth beyond Seshadri's talk show into the knowledge series. So I'll be revisiting that bit with you pretty soon, Rajeshwari. Cool. So we'll move to the next section. This is about the technology innovation and technology. So technology and design thinking often go hand in hand. Can you discuss a project where innovation or innovative technology solution played a pivotal role for your product success? I know you talked about one of your social media product, but like maybe probably we'll go to the section straight away where I would love to hear about the emerging tech trends and shaping the future of design thinking, and how do you put all of this together from a product strategy perspective? Because there are a lot of new startups that really want to build new products and they want to do a overlap of technology and product both together. So would love to hear from you.
Sure. So, but for that question, I think I would want to take a live example of like not where I work, but I take inspiration from multiple things going around. And so, technology and design thinking indeed have a powerful synergy. So, one project I would want to say, which comes to my mind, is development of Tesla Model S, a groundbreaking electric car. This project stands out as a stellar example, right, in the technology solutions. And why I call this, right, when Tesla embarked on this endeavor, they didn't merely aim to create an electric vehicle, they sought to redefine what a car could be. So the design thinking played a critical role in understanding the pain points of traditional gasoline cars, such as emission, then reliance on fossil fuels, limited range. So Tesla's teams empathize with the potential customers, envisioning a future with electric cars could be sleek, high performing, and practical for everyday use. Very minimalistic changes are done seamlessly with any upgrades which happen. And this is like disrupting the automotive industry and leading to the Model S success. So, yeah, this is one of the clear example that I would wanted to quote here.
Great. There are things that I can definitely take away from this, and nothing better than the example of Tesla, because you won't believe, I was just reading this news article before our session today, and it says most of the academic institutes which are running incubator programs for startups, they are really overloaded with EV programs and EV companies looking into this kind of mix of bit. My advice to folks, if any one of them who are listening to this, is they should definitely consider the overlap of technology and design thinking. to get the mix right. And specifically when it comes to EV industry, you've given example of Tesla, which is a perfect fit to consider. Thanks, great. So, Raji, we'll move to the next segment. This is about news and politics. I know like you have been very vocal and you have been very active in circles of women leadership. And it's over a decade that now you're engaging with Lean In. I've been following the kind of work you have been doing since the Lean In was actually incorporated. I recently saw your pictures with Cheryl also on Instagram. Great, like you had a very nice conference and session meeting them. I'll definitely love to hear more about that also eventually, but I'll just now jump into the question. So, like your involvement in women leadership equity is like commendable. There's no doubt about it. But how do you perceive the connection between gender equity in leadership roles and the broader political landscape? And are these specific policy changes or political factors that can drive positive change in this area? I mean, this is pretty much a global phenomena right now, though there are a few countries which are front-ending it, but you can keep the answer for global audience.
So I truly believe empowering women. So enable them to become better leaders. I'm a founder of Lean In Network, North Carolina, and I am representing Lean In Creative Women Leaders as a network from past couple of years. So being an active member of Lean In for more than 6 years, and I also got an opportunity, as you already called out, to meet Cheryl in person on the 10th anniversary of Lean In. And it was the time when Lean In also launched Lean In Girls. Again, a beautiful leadership program for girls, and I highly recommend that for all the girls from 11 to 15 years. And I am also championing that. And coming back to the gender equality or gender equity and gender equality in leadership roles, so there's a lot to talk about it. I would try to keep it, limited based on the timing which we have. So Lean In Org and McKinsey have come up and published an annual report since 2015, and they have been doing it year by year, where they compare different companies and they see how the women are improving and how the gender diversity is spanning across. So with that, I would just want to, throw some light on the numbers, how it comes. So if I talk about entry level versus C-suite, right, not comparing all the different cadres, we see that at entry level, we have like 34% men, white men, versus at C-suite, we have 56% white men. And when it comes to white women, it's like 29% entry-level women and 22% C-suite women. And women of color, so typically that's where we have the global population sticking in. So 18% of women of color at entry level, which goes to just 6% at C-suite level. And based on the stats, here is what we can, make things better. The key which we see, I mean, it's in a nutshell that I would want to say that which we want to work upon and get these numbers right. And a lot is going on, and there are lots of myth around the world which think that there is a limitation. Women does not look at, going beyond their comfort zone, or they are comfortable with what they are having. So there is a lot of content which I would want to, definitely ask for a separate session for which we can talk about how women can, leverage that content, which I personally see that Lean In has made it ready. And I have done my research and presented it at many forums and would want to talk more about them.
Sure. Thanks for sharing this. We are more than happy to have you again for a couple of areas. Definitely polymaths like you who have expertise in different areas are asset for our show and like for our channel. And I really feel it's not about just my channel, it's about like giving the best to our audience. We'll definitely invite you for more to understand about equity generally, and then specifically from gender equity perspective, because I clearly see how you're talking about the stats and numbers. There is equity needed, parity needed between the color, gender, and other dimensions as well. We'll definitely talk about that. Thanks for sharing this information right now. Cool. So we'll move to the next segment. Raji, this is a little humor that I want to bring in, because usually my show becomes a little bit of serious, bit of only knowledge package. And when our guests typically talk about their experience around things which brings a little bit of humor, that is useful. So I'll just put my question across to you. Amidst your extensive career and leadership roles, there must be some light-hearted or unexpected moments. Can you share a funny or memorable anecdote from your professional journey that makes you smile when you think about it?
I would love to quote this one story of mine that makes me laugh and feel proud at the same time. And this was an very early career of mine. I traveled to the USA in the year 2005. And trust me, this was around Thanksgiving, and I never got into a flight before this one. And first time taking a flight directly to USA was mind blowing with like two heavy baggages, 23 kgs, and they were overloaded, trying to fit them all in those two bags, having all sweaty myself, and then wearing all the jackets because I was going to Connecticut. It was cold. I cannot fit them in the suitcase and I cannot carry them with me. So I like wearing them. In India, that pressure of baggage traveling first time was like mind blowing. And I could not even figure out when I was done with security and everything and walking down. I could not make out where the passenger boarding bridge ends and where the flight actually stops. I was like, is this flight already or I'm still on the bridge? And everything was so new to me, but adventure never stops me, and I always look forward for more, and that's what keeps me thrilled and going.
Great. I totally can relate to it. Specifically, this is a huge step for a lot of people to move away from their motherland and then figuring out their comfort. I mean, like while you're still in your motherland and you travel to different states within your country, the change itself is a big thing to deal with. Not everybody is really adventurous as you are. Amazing. That's a nice story. We'll move to the next segment, Rajeshwari. So could you recount a particular challenging or mysterious situation where you used your coaching skills to empower someone to overcome an obstacle? We know that you have been an NLP coach for a while now. So I would love to hear one of your experiences.
Sure, wonderful. I love that question. Thanks, Sridhar. So there are many instances, but the one which comes to my mind is, as you know, I believe in enabling women and help them become a better version of themselves. I also did write a book, 7 Steps to Inner Designing, to help people unwire their brain to achieve the impossible. And with that being in the core, I once worked with a talented software developer who was struggling with self-confidence issues. So despite possessing exceptional technical skills, this individual was hesitant to speak up in team meetings and share her innovative ideas. So in the coaching sessions, it became clear that the developer was experiencing imposter syndrome, which is a phenomenon where individuals start doubting their own abilities and fear being exposed as frauds. So to address this, I employed several coaching techniques. So I would list a few maybe here. Let's start with the first one would be the active listening. So I actually actively listen to the developers' concerns, allowing them to openly express the self-doubts and frustrations. Because listening is something which is missing in this world. Everyone wants to just speak up. The next thing was empathy support. So I provided the empathetic support, which was much needed at that time, reassuring them that their feelings were normal and shared by many such professionals. And the next thing, and the most crucial, was goal setting. So together we sat to work on the achievable goals for increasing their participation in the team discussions and sharing better ideas. So because the key concern was, one, we wanted to see how we can work on that and get that sorted. The next thing was skill development. So I recommended specific techniques for improving their public speaking and communication skills. And we have a bigger network where we can connect people to multiple people who can also help them enhance those skills to get into better or deeper level. So experts one-on-one kind of a thing. And then finally was feedback and accountability. So I established a feedback mechanism where I provided constructive feedback on the progress and encourage them to, step out of their comfort zone. So overall, the developer began to build confidence and gradually started contributing more effectively in team meetings. And eventually, the developers career began to advance and they had no longer any hindrance or self-doubt. So this coaching experience highlighted the power of empathetic coaching in helping individuals overcome obstacles and unlock their full potential in workspace. So I really love that, how it helped the person.
So I can really now relate like how you investigate typically your cases by using your framework. This is really powerful. We would need like the URL for your book. I would recommend all my listeners to definitely buy a copy of Inner Designing and take benefit of your whole perspective on how to deep dive into one own's like mind and then rewire the brain and take benefit of manifestation and some of the tools and techniques of NLP that you talk about in your book. That should be really helpful for a lot of our listeners. I'll put the URL below in the description. If you share that with me, Rajeshwari, that will be helpful for a lot of folks. Awesome.
Absolutely,
So I think we are done with all of our sections. This was pretty quick. Thanks for sharing your incredible journey and insights with us today. Your dedication for design thinking, the product industry, women's leadership equity, and well-being programs is really commendable, Rajeshwari. And to our fantastic listeners, thanks for joining us on this enlightening Seshadri's talk show episode. If you found today's discussion and inspiring as we did, subscribe, leave a review, and stay tuned for more captivating conversations with extraordinary individuals like Raji. Until next time, thanks. Thanks, Rajeshwari. We'll connect again.
Sridhar, thanks for having me in this show.
Seshadri's Talk Show. Seshadri's Talk Show.